As you know, each year on Veterans Day, our nation gives thanks for the heroism of the millions of veterans who have fought to defend our democracy. Like many of you, whose family members have served our nation, my grandfather served during World War II as a tail gunner in what was then the U.S. Army Air Forces. His example gave me a deep appreciation for the service of American men and women who have dedicated their lives to the same mission, keeping our country safe and free. Since my grandfather and the greatest generation returned home following World War II, countless men and women have served and returned to a country that hasn't always lived up to its responsibility to care for its veterans, and it's particularly important we acknowledge that on Veterans Day. Beyond our gratitude and remembrance, our veterans and their families deserve support when they finish their service, especially as they take on new challenges in life. We've got to do more to make sure that veterans are receiving the high-quality health care that they have earned, the training and the job opportunities that they deserve, and the benefits that they're due. That is the work I'm focused on as Vice Chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. You know, you might hear a lot in the news about partisan politics, especially now during campaign season, and you might hear about the lack of action in Washington. But I want you to know we're making a lot of bipartisan progress for veterans and military families on the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Just recently, I voted to pass the Honoring Our Pact Act, which extends VA health care benefits to 3.5 million veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances. In fact, I'm proud that 19 of my bipartisan bills to support veterans have been signed into law now by both the former president and the current president. Let me just reflect for 1 minute on the sacrifices that service members, veterans, and their families are making for our nation. This past April, I had the honor of visiting Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery in San Diego with the Secretary of the VA, Dennis McDonough, to pay respects to those who died while serving our country. I was particularly honored to visit the gravesite of Captain Jennifer Moreno, a highly decorated combat veteran from San Diego who was killed in action during a deployment to Afghanistan. This was in October of 2013. She was the first female combat casualty to be buried at Fort Rosecrans since the post-9/11 conflicts began. And I'm very proud to tell you that I passed legislation in Congress that renamed the San Diego VA Medical Center after her earlier this year. So we've got to do more to honor all of our veterans, but especially our women veterans who have served our country. And I hope that this renaming, along with major legislation like the Honoring Our Pact Act, will live up to the responsibility that we have to honor their service as well. So, to the many veterans that are listening and watching, I'll never stop fighting for you. It's an honor and a privilege to serve you in Congress. Thank you all so much, and have a great Veterans Day, everybody.